These potatoes taste exactly like garlic bread, but in potato form. They are crispy and golden on the outside while fluffy and light on the inside. They are doused in a garlic butter sauce that is made with 4 bulbs of roasted garlic. These are my garlic butter crispy smashed potatoes. First and foremost, we need garlic and a whole lot of it. I'm roasting 4 whole bulbs of garlic for this garlic butter sauce, and because we don't need much olive oil in this recipe, I'm not going to individually peel every garlic clove like you usually see me do. Using a sharp knife, I'm cutting just the tip off, roughly 1 inch down from the top so the garlic cloves are exposed and they look exactly like this. Discard of those garlic tops or store them for when you're making your next batch of stock. There are several ways that you can roast garlic, and that can either be done in a large sheet of alfoil, a baking dish that can be covered, or my favorite way, which happens to also be the most impractical way, using your collection of mini Dutch ovens. The important thing to note here is that whatever you decide to use, it needs to have a lid or be able to be covered so the garlic does not burn. Place the garlic bulbs into the baking dishes and drizzle the cloves with olive oil, then season with a good amount of salt and pepper. Don't be shy with the olive oil here, as we are going to use it in the sauce. Cover the garlic and then bake in the oven for 1 hour at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. After 1 hour of baking, remove them from the oven. You'll notice that the garlic is golden and slightly caramelized. The cloves will have expanded and are bursting out of their skin. Reserve all of the oil that has pooled at the bottom of the baking dish and place the garlic onto a clean plate and leave to cool until you are able to handle them. I have done this next step when the garlic is too hot and have burnt myself way too many times, so it's important that it has cooled. Now for the fun part. Squeeze out those roasted garlic cloves. They will be soft and jammy. You may be thinking that this is too much garlic, but when we roast or confit garlic, the flavor becomes extremely mild and almost sweet. This is why I always recommend to double, if not triple, if not quadruple the amount of garlic being used when it is roasted as opposed to when using raw garlic. Mash up the garlic with the back of a knife or spatula until a chunky paste forms. This will just make it easier to work the garlic through the butter sauce. It will also leave us with some beautiful chunky garlic parts that, when spreaded onto the potatoes, are absolutely delicious to bite into. For this next part, we need 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds of baby potatoes. Make sure they are cleaned but not peeled. My sister-in-law made this recipe and she peeled the potatoes, which meant she missed out on that crunchy and crispy skin. Place the potatoes into a large pot and cover with cold water. Starting the potatoes in cold water helps them heat up and cook more evenly throughout. Add a very large amount of salt to the cold water until it tastes just like the ocean. We are not digesting all of the salt, but part of it will penetrate into the potato and slightly flavor them. It's a similar technique to when you are cooking pasta and salt the pasta water. Place the pot onto the stove, and just as you turn the heat on, turn that timer on too. Set it for 20 minutes. Take the potatoes off the heat and just ignore the fact that I forgot to peel the sticker off my new stock pot. The potatoes should be fork tender at this point, just meaning that you can poke a fork or sharp skewer into them with little resistance. This means our potatoes are perfectly cooked on the inside, which will result in a fluffy interior. You don't want them to be too soft here, or they will fall apart when you smash them. So make sure you turn that timer on when I say so. Drain the potatoes into a colander and pop in the fridge uncovered, as this will release as much as the moisture as possible. Water is not our friend when it comes to making crispy food. Now onto that garlic butter sauce. Grab a large deep saucepan and drizzle with the reserved olive oil from when we baked the garlic. Add 100 grams or 7 tablespoons of salted butter. Melt the butter on a low heat, and when bubbling, add in the roasted garlic. Stir it through the butter and break it up with a wooden spoon to ensure it is well distributed throughout the sauce. Toss the potatoes through the sauce until they are well coated. This technique ensures every last inch of the potato is doused in garlic butter sauce. We can cover much more surface area this way, as opposed to when we just slather it on top with a brush at the end. Set the potatoes to the side. Now, while I have been making the garlic butter sauce, I have had a baking tray that was drizzled with some of the garlic olive oil heating up in the oven. Placing the potatoes onto a hot tray will allow the bottom of the potato to get extra crispy. Carefully remove the baking tray from the oven and begin to place the potatoes onto it. Leave about 5 centimeters around the potatoes so when they get smashed, they just have some breathing room. I'm using a regular water glass to smash my potatoes, but I'm going to cover it in cling or Glad wrap and then brush it with a little olive oil. Why cover it in cling wrap? Well, this helps prevent the potatoes from sticking to the bottom of the glass when we smash them up. It's really up to you on how thin or thick you would like to smash your potatoes. I prefer them thin because this means they will be crispier and closer in texture to a potato chip, but you can absolutely keep them a little thicker. Brush over as much as the remaining garlic butter sauce as your heart pleases, making sure you do not leave behind any of those roasted garlic bits. Season with a pinch of salt and pepper and then bake in the oven for 30 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius or 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Remove from the oven and then sprinkle over some fresh, finely diced parsley for a little freshness throughout. Sprinkle with some flaky sea salt and enjoy. Thank you for watching and make sure you follow and subscribe for more. I absolutely love when you leave comments about the food that I make, so if you do make this at home or if you have even just enjoyed watching this video, please let me know. Catch you next time.